Guys, I have a headache, but I've gone and announced that there's new video today, so here it is. My name is Shampepe, and you're watching my version of events. About 2 weeks ago, I posted a quote on my Instagram story, and I'm just going to read it to you verbatim so I don't screw it up or miss anything. It says, "I respect someone who is vocal. Tell me why you're into me. Tell me why I pissed you off. And tell me how I can fix it. Tell me everything. Talk." Okay. Someone replied this story, and said, "The writer makes accepting responsibility seem so easy. Is this easy? Or is it this easy?" And then he also says, "Accusers/victims as well. Are they sometimes wrong or right?" And I thought, you know what? Let's discuss communication in relationships. Communication is literally one of the most important foundations in any relationship. Not just intimate relationships, in family relationships, in friendships, in business relationships. Communication is such an important foundation for any kind of relationship to thrive. Personally, I like someone who's very vocal. I like someone who would tell me, "Listen, that thing you did, I really didn't like it." Now, don't get me wrong, it's not always fun to hear these things. I mean, nobody wants to hear that you're doing something that your partner doesn't like. But you need to hear it. You need to know. That's how you can grow. That's how your relationship can grow. Talk to me. Let me know what's going on. If you're mad, tell me. If you're happy, tell me. I don't want somebody that, when you're happy, I don't know. When you're sad, I don't know. When you want to be left alone, I don't know. Your moods are all tied up in one, so you can be happy now, but your face is like this. I can't tell. I need you to be vocal. Sit down, let's have conversations like grown adults without calling each other out our names. Let's be able to express ourselves. Let's be vulnerable. Let's talk about things. People will not automatically just know what is going on. If something is wrong, you need to come out and you need to say it. Sometimes things fall apart when it could have taken one conversation of less than 10 minutes to put everything to rest. If whatever it is that you're upset about is beginning to affect the way you relate with your partner or with the person that you're with, then it's time to talk about it. Don't hold on to things so long that they start to ruin your relationship or they start to ruin something that could be so great. If you're on the receiving side of a communicating person, you need to understand that it might not always be great to hear. It might not always be the best experience, but you need to be able to take whatever it is they're saying and figure out how you can make things better. Don't always be so defensive. Don't always be so, ready to start a fight because someone is saying that you did something that they don't like. You can do something, but you can't tell somebody how to feel about what you've done, right? So sometimes you do something or you say something and you don't intend it to come out a certain way or you don't intend it to be a certain way. And unfortunately, it comes across like that. Unfortunately, the way you intended it is not the way that it was received. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. But you need to be able to accept the way your actions or your words have made someone else feel. If you're the one constantly communicating and you're not getting through to the other person, just leave them alone. To be really honest, people fix up for who they want. People fix up for what they want. So if someone isn't really communicating with you like that, maybe they're just not ready. Maybe they're not ready for the relationship. Maybe they're not ready to take things further with you. Maybe, other things are occupying their minds. And to be really honest, nobody likes to hear this. But the truth is, they might just not be that into you. It's so hard to hear that, but it's the truth. Somebody not being that into you is really just life. It's normal. Guys, there's 7 billion people in the world. At most, how many people are there for you? Really, a lot of your relationships, a lot of your situationships, a lot of the things you get into are not really going to work out. And you know what? That's life. That's okay. Stop making excuses for people. If people show you who they are, believe them. Like I said, people will fix up for who they want, for what they want. People might be saying one thing with their words and then doing something else with their actions. Put both of them together. If they do not match, there is an issue. People are not always going to communicate so clearly, and that's just the unfortunate part of dealing with people in relationships, in any kind of relationship. So sometimes you need to read between the lines. You need to kind of understand what's going on. You will find that there are people that find it so hard to just be honest about what they want out of a relationship or out of a situationship. Be honest about what you want. There is always someone out there who wants the same thing as you. Granted, it might not be the person that you're pursuing now, but there's always somebody out there who wants the same things as you. If you're getting to know somebody and you're trying to build something, be honest and very straightforward. You find that people are so vague, they'll say so much that it will sound like they're communicating. They're actually not. They're not giving you anything concrete. And they're doing this because honestly, they don't want to be held accountable for things that they say. So when stuff hits the fan, you can't come back and be like, oh, but you said you were ready. Oh, but you said you wanted to be with me. Oh, but you said this and this and this. They don't want that to happen. Then there are also these people that will say something and then 2 weeks later be like, oh, well, I never said that. Be wary of people who are always going back on their word when they say something. Don't be that person who just says things in the moment and then later on says, oh, I didn't say that. You will also find that some people communicate only when it's convenient for them. They will come across as people who are, quiet, people who are not very vocal, people who don't really say how they feel all the time. But you see, when it's convenient for them, they will communicate. They will pour out their hearts. They will say everything. And this can be really, really confusing. The reason is because you now start thinking like, this person doesn't usually communicate. So you start to appreciate the communication a little bit more. It seems like an extra step in the right direction because the person is now communicating. It's not always like that. Be wary of people who only communicate when it is convenient for them, because this means that they don't really care about your feelings. They don't really care about what's going on with you. It's just about them. It's when, they feel like you can benefit them that they communicate. Communication is really just one of the most important foundations of any kind of relationship. So for your relationship to work, learn to communicate as openly and as honestly as possible. And if you realize that things are not aligning with both of you based on the communication that you're having, it's okay to let things go. It really, really is okay to let things go. And it's not a competition. If you find out that your partner ends up being with somebody else who they're treating better or they seem happier with, that's fine. It's not like you're not a great person. It's just you might be juicy cheesecake and they just don't like cheese. Really. So it's nothing personal. Don't think that there's anything wrong with you. So guys, let's go out there and let's be great communicators, okay? I need to go take some medicine for this headache, but thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave me some comments in the comment section, and please subscribe, please. I still have my new YouTuber face, please. See you later, guys.